हरे कृष्णा। बहुत बहुत स्वागत आप सभी का भागवत गीता अध्ययन सत्र में। So we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and we begin with some prayers. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योग शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीर धारी कृपां बुद्धि तमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। Okay. So very briefly, we saw this fight is about to begin, and Arjuna says to Krishna, Arjuna tells Krishna to bring his chariot between the two armies. He wants to see who all has come to fight. And Krishna obliges Arjuna's request. Uh, and then Arjuna, seeing familial compassion, he is really overwhelmed by familial bodily compassion. And this is where, again, by the plan and arrangement of Krishna, Arjuna is put into illusion so that Krishna can have a dialogue with Arjuna for our benefit, for our eternal benefit. So Arjuna quotes some reasons for not fighting, and finally he surrenders to Krishna. He says, "Okay, this is beyond me. I gave up. I'm now literally confused left, right, center. So kindly help me now. Kindly help me." And now on, Krishna will start speaking. So Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue. It's the best question and answer book. It's the best interview actually. Interview between Krishna and Arjuna. Best question and answer book. And it touches every aspect of our life. Every aspect. And actually, if we see now, Bhagavad Gita has lots to offer from a management perspective, from logistics perspective, in the sense big war, so much setup is needed, so much administration is needed, management is needed, and all those things are there in Mahabharat, Bhagavad Gita. Also, it has got every emotion, like in Bhagavad Gita, in places we will find there's good humor as well. And we'll find surely there's thrill, excitement, adventure, suspense, some drama, emotions, everything, like mind blowing. Just what is needed on our part is sincerity, a bit of sincerity. That also not a huge amount of sincerity, no. Just a tiny bit of sincerity. Just some decent amount of sincerity is needed. As we discussed yesterday, right? The world is lacking not in spiritual teachers. Their teachers are everywhere. What the world needs is a sincere student. Even for myself, it is not like, okay, a sadhaka never, a practitioner never should think or consider that, okay, now I am enlightened. Now I know. I can teach Bhagavad Gita. I can share the message of Bhagavad Gita. I can preach the gospel. No. As a practitioner, a sadhaka, a devotee, initiated as well, would never, should never, would never think like this, would never allow this thought to be entertained that, okay, now I have become a devotee or I know Bhagavad Gita, know enough that I can teach it to someone. Come, what is your question? And I can answer your question. No, it is only by Krishna's blessings and mercy that there is some resolve. If someone asks a question, it is only by Krishna's blessings and mercy that the other person understands the answer as well or gets to know. On our part, it is just an effort. an expression to Krishna to show him that we are somewhat sincere or we are praying to be sincere, we are wanting to be sincere. Krishna becomes pleased by that. Beauty of Krishna consciousness is that it is not a matter of quantification, quantifying, as in how much I know, how many shlokas I have mugged up, I have learned, huh? How many references can I quote here and there, how good my voice is, and all. No, it is not a matter of quantification. Krish- Certain things, na, Krishna does not like or understand, like how much or how many, or this much or this many. हाँ, भगवान इन सब से रीझते नहीं है, किससे, कि भाई देखो मैंने कितनी रथ यात्रा अटेंड करी है, इतनी रथ यात्रा, इतनी मंगल आरती मैंने अटेंड कर ली, इतने नाम जप कर लिया, इतने सालों से कर रहा हूँ, ये इतने इतने में ना भगवान कहेंगे कि मेरे लल्लू लाल, तू अपने गिनती में ही फिर लगा रहे, अपने खाता ना, तू अपना खाता ही बनाते रहे, है ना, अपना अकाउंट्स बनाते रहे, रिकॉर्ड बनाते रहे, तू चल लग लग जा बेटा, तू रिकॉर्ड बनाने में लग जा, कि मैं 30 साल से कर रहा हूँ, मैंने इतनी रथ यात्रा कर लिया, इतना मंगल आरती कर ली, इतनी गौरा आरती लीड कर ली, इतना फलाना कर लिया, इतना ढिमकाना कर लिया, बढ़िया। तो कृष्णा भावनामृत is not a process to make some records, to keep a statement, book statement of how many rath yatras have I attended, how many gulab jamuns have I had. No, no, it is a process to purify our heart, to simplify our heart, uh, to genuinely be true to ourselves. So, and the whole world actually is in this quantification. The whole world is very typical, isn't it? The world runs, functions on a typical platform. As in what? Grow up, start going school, uni, college, you know, sports, this, that, then get a degree, this much score and all, otherwise you don't fit in society. Then get a job, this much pay and all, otherwise you don't fit in society. Partner, husband, wife, family, children, house, car, this and that, otherwise something wrong with you, you're not normal, you're not, you sound a bit awkward, you know. And then holidays, retire, that's it. Very typical sort of life. Again, it's not like we don't do this. No, Krishna consciousness is not like, okay, don't study, don't do this and all, but a purpose oriented, na, purpose oriented. It is not to judge someone based on externalities. Oh, she's so short, she's so tall, she's so fat, she's so thin, his voice is like that. These are all externalities. And why do we see them as imperfections? Because we have imperfections, because we carry imperfect senses. This is why we see everywhere as fault and everywhere as filthy and this is not right, this is wrong and all. Ah, have we heard people say life is very unfair to me? Within our friends, family say, people sometimes say like, oh, you have been very unfair to me. My teacher has been unfair to me, boss has been unfair to me, children have not been fair to me, they have not been true to me, my partner is not true to me. All this. No one is unfair to us. It's only our own mind. It's only our own mind. Anyway, so these are the things we'll come to understand in very fine, clear details. Studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the subtle objects, the subtle workings of life. What does subtle mean? हाँ, प्रतीक हर्षा, सूक्ष्म का क्या मतलब, सटल, सूक्ष्म?
understated, or something that's very delicately sort of hard to detect sometimes.
Okay. Subtle. Subtle. Repeat again, Evie, please. I couldn't hear you very clearly.
Yes, something that's quite understated, and like you could miss it quite easily if you weren't looking, kind of thing.
Okay, so Evie says subtle is something very understated or something could be very easily missed. Hmm. Yeah, yes, on those lines. Subtle, something which is uh, could be like a bit negligible or something which is seen like very easy to miss perhaps, yeah, as in something which cannot be very perceived through our senses in a gross form, just like air is a very subtle energy, right? We cannot see it. Likewise, the workings of the mind is so subtle. I mean, the workings of the mind is tremendously subtle. It is so subtle until and unless one takes a spiritual practice. Again, this is a fact of life. Until and unless one takes a spiritual practice, the workings of the mind one can never understand. Ah, people are living with their own mind, but they do not know themselves, what their mind is like. We just say, oh, I've been 10 years with you, I've known you, or I don't, do not I know myself? I know myself much better. But no, actually, until and unless we take a spiritual practice. So the practice of Krishna consciousness will expose the subtle workings, the subtle mechanisms, the subtle functions or energies in life. It will expose so much that it will be right on our face or very clear to us. Our mind, the direction of life, the space, the purpose, and everything, the meaning, how otherwise we get so caught up in these subtle workings. So the subtle things will become very gross or very clearly visible or kind of very close to our face, say. And something and many things like which are so prominent in our life, if I may say, which are grossly prominent in our life, in the sense of material objects wise, having a deep affinity, attachment, attraction towards them, associating strongly towards them, they will fade away. They will become very, their grip on us will fade away. We won't be so much dependent on material objects. We wouldn't be. We'll find a lot of self control and self dependency within ourselves. So, this is the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Beauty, the again, the turning point is Arjuna surrendering himself, Arjuna allowing himself to take shelter of Krishna, Arjuna taking that initiative. Who goes to a school? Does a child go to a school or the school comes to the child? Child goes to a school, right? Or does the school go to a child?
Child goes to the school.
So the initiative has to be taken by the child. The initiative has to be taken by the child or his parents or guardian. Huh? Likewise, the initiative, the first step has to be taken by the sadhaka, by us. Then rest Krishna will do all the magic. He will do all the magic. So Bhagavad Gita is a very theoretical study as well. The best therapy, the best soothing, calming therapy. Huh? See, so far, what we have observed, what we have studied, seen, is only Arjuna speaking. And Krishna is so patiently, so kindly, so patiently listening. Krishna hasn't spoken anything as such yet. Why? Because he's letting Arjuna speak out. He isn't interrupting Arjuna. He is not at all interrupting Arjuna. He's giving him his time and let whatever is Arjuna's heart come it out, bring it out. है ना? अपने हृदय का भाव, अर्जुन के हृदय का जो समस्या है, भाव है, मन की जो दुर्बलता है, उसको भगवान अर्जुन को पूरा अवसर दे रहे हैं कि अपने मन की जो भी तुम्हारी विपदा है या भाव है, निकालो उसको अच्छे से, आराम से पूरा निकालो। कोई हड़बड़ी नहीं है। बोलो जी खोल के। और भगवान कितनी अ, धैर्य से, कितना धैर्य से भगवान श्रवण कर रहे हैं, सुन रहे हैं। और जब तक देखिए, जब तक बोला भी नहीं जाए ना, भगवान नहीं बोल रहे। अब अर्जुन ने ये पड़ाव आया ना, अब अर्जुन ने समर्पित किया अपने आप को भगवान को, अब भगवान बोलेंगे। तो ये भी एक व्यवहारिक जीवन की एक निशानी है ना। You see in parliament and many places in we see people are talking at the same time. It's not at all a discussion, talking at the same time, and it's a very poor habit. It's a very poor personality trait to speak when someone other is also speaking and not letting the other person finish, to just cut and continue speaking. No. So Krishna is not cutting Arjuna anywhere. He's letting him speak. Likewise, Krishna likes listening. He's the best listener and the best speaker, the transcendental listener and the transcendental speaker. Na? So when we chant the holy names of Krishna on beads, when we chant Hare Krishna on beads, Krishna listens. He loves to listen. Doesn't matter if we are chanting with good faith or our mind is distracted or in the holy name. Still, when we do kirtan in temple or outside, using musical instruments, Krishna listens. As in, Krishna pays more attention. But when we do mundane stuff, then Krishna, because he's above mundane stuff, it doesn't. Krishna's antenna does not receive it. The spiritual antenna does not receive it. So Krishna is very patiently listening. This is what we see in therapy as well. If you go in London or any other places around the globe, right? Therapy, first two sessions, maybe first three sessions, the doctor listens and the patient speaks. Patient reveals his heart and puts the trust, builds a relationship. What does a doctor do? The doctor, he will sit. There will be two chairs, generally speaking, although, say two chairs, a table, two cups of water, and a tissue and notepad, pen. Both doctor and patient will be keeping notepad, pen, tissue, water, this thing. And the doctor helps the patient. Doctor helps the patient takes the initiative, right, to speak. In such counseling, any counseling, patient takes the initiative to speak. Tissues are there if he feels like a bit overwhelmed, emotional. Bring out tears. They help when there's release of tears. It helps. Yeah. And release of words as well makes the heart a bit light. And then the doctor starts speaking. So now Krishna will start speaking and let us listen a bit more. For now, any question or comment or any thoughts? And as always, if you have any question, comments, or thoughts anytime, cut me out, please. Huh? Okay, so we'll read some verses now. Ellen, please read text 8.
No problem. Text 8. I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to dispel it, even if I win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven.
We read this previously as well. Okay. Text 10 as well, please. No, sorry, 9 as well. Ellen, please read 9.
Oh, sorry, I had it muted. Sanjaya said, having spoken thus, Arjuna, chastiser of enemies, told Krishna, Govinda, I shall not fight, and fell silent. 10 as well.
Maybe I will request Jacqueline to read 10, please. And let us know, Ellen, if you are able to, and others, if you are able to hear Jacqueline, because I am with my headphone. And
What did you say, Prabhu? Sorry. Can't hear anything, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear us now?
Yep,
Hare
can hear
Krishna?
you now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can
Okay.
hear you, but we can't hear Jacqueline.
Oh, okay, I heard Jacqueline, by the way. So then hear me more, Evie. Okay. So, O descendant of Bharata, at that time Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. We'll try to discuss little bit this and then move further. So, text 9, Arjuna then he got numb. He got numb, very silent, and sat down and said, "Oh Govinda, I shall not fight," and fell silent. And seeing this, gave raised a high hopes for Dhritarashtra, the blind king. Wow, hearing this, that uh, Arjuna in such a physical and mental state. And also, both the parties were witnessing, right? On either side, Arjuna's side and the other side as well. And see here, text, and it's so beautiful, 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 honestly. At that time, Krishna smiling in the midst of both the armies. Now, uh, Krishna's whole body is transcendental, from top toe to head. Everything is transcendental. And smile. Krishna's smile is the sweetest, sweetest. Again, when Krishna hopefully uses us in the study of Shrimad Bhagavatam, one day, this is the prayer, one day we collectively study Shrimad Bhagavatam uh, by the blessings of Vaishnavas through their permission and blessings. Then we'll try to explore more on Krishna's smile. But uh, Krishna's smile is transcendental. So for now, just see Krishna smiling in the midst of both the parties. So through his smile, Krishna is giving this message to Arjuna that there's nothing to worry. It's fine, even though you are having a big breakdown, even though you are really panicking, freaking out, shaking, है ना? तो भी भगवान की ये मुस्कान, हाँ, भगवान की स्मिता ये, हाँ, भगवान की ये मुस्कान, ये अर्जुन को संकेत दे रही है कि कोई घबराने की बात नहीं है. And not only an direct indication or message to Arjuna, but to both the parties, to everyone on either side, Pandava side and the other side as well, that do not disqualify Arjuna, do not discard him straight away. Arjuna is not gone as such. Do not write him off. Imagine if you go to a doctor And we are panicking, oh doctor, I'm bleeding. And seeing the blood, if doctor also starts panicking, what will happen? Uh, Very difficult, right? If we go to if we have to hire a lawyer, a legal person for our case, and we are crying, sobbing, and the lawyer is also less of confidence and lacking confidence, and he's also confused, what will happen? No. So Krishna never gets confused. So he's smiling, and through his smile, he's giving the message. Also, see, what are we studying? Bhagavad Gita. है ना? Bhagavad means of Krishna, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, directly related to Krishna. Yeah? And Gita is song, Geet. So, in the middle of this crisis, this life and death crisis, Krishna is going to have a dialogue with Arjuna in a song form. The whole of Bhagavad Gita is in a song form. So, it is sung and various meters, various tunes. And we all know that, okay, wherever there is singing, wherever there is dancing, it's like a joyful environment. It's a very something which is giving peace and joy to the heart. So even the midst of this life and death situation, Krishna will speak in a song form. Arjuna will also speak with him in a song form, this dialogue. So the message for us, the motivation for us to take, we all are going through a mini battle in our lives. None of us can say that, oh, I do not have any hardship, I do not have any struggle in my life. No, we all, with our job, study, finance, relationships, health, whatnot, the list is never ending. We all are going through a struggle. But when we allow ourselves and take the shelter of Bhagavad Gita, when we bring Bhagavad Gita in our life, the message of Bhagavad Gita in our life, then amidst all these struggles, we will able to traverse very sweetly, very sweetly. In a song form, we will also experience real charm in life and move on, excel towards transcendence. So this message Krishna is giving through smile. Krishna never feels confused. Why? Because Krishna is not lacking in anything. Krishna is never in short or lacking in anything. In one sense, yes, Krishna is lacking what? He's lacking in one thing though, which is what? He's lacking in getting Ashish's real attention. He's lacking in getting Alan's real attention, Evie's real attention. है ना? Harsha, Krishna, Diksha, Anuja, Anuradha's, Pratik's, Jacqueline's real attention. That one thing is lacking or missing. But having said that, it doesn't make Krishna say incomplete like that. Real attention meaning our real love, our real relationship. But because Krishna is so patient, he is kindly giving us due time or whatever time so that we can evolve, we can grow, we can come out. He's not restless. He's not restless like that. So because Krishna does not lack in anything, this is why he's always cheerful and always smiling, always happy. But we see things in scarcity. We we are projected as scarcity actually. Wha- Where is there scarcity? Nowhere is there scarcity. Enough of land, everything is there. It's just morality. We lack in good morality, in good principle. This is why there is chaos. This is why there is chaos. Otherwise, what is the reason for chaos? Because our minds project or we are being projected and we take things to be in scarcity, and then it invokes competition. It invokes competition, and then it invokes cheating mentality. all all such degraded lower or negative qualities and habits and all. and then we just lose our intelligence. But Krishna is smiling, so even in our struggle in life and all, if we bring Bhagavad Gita, if we take shelter of Krishna, the message, the holy name of Krishna, then we can see that Krishna smile with us throughout. Any thoughts, question, or comment? Okay, let's read text 11. We'll read Sanskrit shloka, translation, and purport as well for it. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha असोच्यानन्वसोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाससे गतासु न गतासुंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडित. Okay, Harsha read translation.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead.
Okay, is it Preeti or Lakshmi? If whosoever would like to read purport as well.
It's Lakshmi Auntie.
Okay, so Ellen, read purport, please. First paragraph.
The Lord at once took the position of the teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, "You are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned, one who knows what is body and what is soul, does not lament for any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition. As explained in later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both."
Read again this sentence, please.
Yep.
It knowledge means to know.
Knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both. Oh, as explained in later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both.
Continue.
Arjuna argued that religious principles should be given more importance than politics or sociology, but he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul, and the supreme is even more important than religious formularies. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as a very learned man. As he did not happen to be a very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy of lamentation. The body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, the body is not as important as the soul. One who knows this is actually learned, and for him there is no cause for lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material body.
Yeah, I find this translation and purport very beautiful. Beautiful, love it. Evie, read translation, please.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead.
Thank you. So see how gentle, beautiful, or this loving, kind, caring actually Krishna is, or say cultured. I mean, everything with Krishna is completely divine, transcendental. In the sense, again, see this, it is actually a fact of life. And see, such attitude and or say behavioral patterns within society. Very closely we can observe this within society, and actually if we can spot this within ourselves as well, then see what that many a times when we have a say conversation, one to one say conversation and all, or what people, they sometimes just want the other person, they just wait, when does the other person stop and when do I reply to him, when do I reply and respond to him. And the moment the first person starts speaking first sentence, just by that time we formulate in our head, okay, what am I going to reply to him now? Just the very first sentence, and I just wait, when does he stop and when do I reply to him. So we get into a dialogue or something just to reply to the other person, not to really understand the other person. No. But Krishna is not in such a hesitation, or is not, sorry, in such a hurry. He is not waiting Arjuna to finish so that he can reply. We wait that, oh, when do you finish and when do I reply to you? No. We wait, when do you finish and when do I just reply, or even very miscalculated respond to you. But Krishna is understanding Arjuna. So it takes a lot. We should try to understand the people, understand the person, not just wait for an opportunity to reply to him. And never try to discard or put anyone down. No, no one. And that is not our position as well, and we cannot as well. It's not our duty, it's not our role, it's not our position. So here Krishna is saying, Asochan anvasocastvam pragyan vadamscha bhasasa gatasuna gatasumscha na anusocanti pandita. See, speaking of culture and language, one thing, what is Krishna saying? Uh, those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Okay, a question for all of you. And would be nice if we all can participate in these questions. This sentence we all read, right? Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Now, what would be another way to say this sentence? How can I frame this a sentence in a way which gives the same message, but I say it slightly differently? So make a sentence slightly different, make a sentence different, but it gives the same message, still the same message. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead.
Um, perhaps the soul is eternal. Um, um, something, I don't know.
Uh, Thanks, Ivi, but please don't take it any philosophically. No, just at a general, say, language point of view level. Mm, this is a sentence. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Now, if I have to write this sentence a bit differently, say this sentence a bit differently, but keeping the meaning intact, the message, the meaning intact. If you see what I mean.
Could it be something like an intelligent person doesn't grieve for the material body? I don't know.
No, I mean, again, like Jacqueline is also responding, Ellen responding, but I suppose you both are trying to uh, explain the sentence. Uh, for now, please do not explain the sentence, and for now, do not try to go any philosophically. Just uh, in a language point of view, how can this sentence be written a bit differently or spoken a bit differently, yet give the same message?
Don't cry when people die.
Okay. Evie says, don't cry when people die. A bit close, but still not there. should I say? The sentence is, those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Hmm? Can I say this sentence in this way with keeping the meaning intact? Those who are fool lament for the living or for the dead. Would it still make sense? Would it still, the sentence, would it still be valid, keeping the sanctity of its meaning, keeping its meaning intact? One way of saying is what? Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Another way of saying, could it be? Could another way of saying be? Those who are fool lament for the living or for the dead. What do you say, Harsha, Anuja, Diksha, uh, Ellen, Jacqueline? Huh? Is the sentence still valid? Those who are fool lament for the living or for the dead. So
Yes, completely.
uh, this is this is Bhagavad Gita again. This will touch every aspect of our life. We don't need to go for any other personality development course. In Delhi, Bombay, and many places in India, many places around the globe, uh, in a country called Estonia, I believe there will be some development classes or something maybe happening. And if we actually study Srimad Bhagavad Gita, our what will happen? Our speech will become more pure. Our speech will become more pure, more holy, more divine. We don't need any other motivational personality development, any other psychological counseling and all, confidence booster, this and that. But only this will, the message of Bhagavad Gita will come to light only in the association of inspiring devotees. है ना? Only in the association of inspiring devotees. Definitely. And the message comes about only by the mercy of pure devotee. Only by the blessings and mercy of a pure devotee. This is the prayer. How do we invoke the blessings and mercy of a pure devotee? Yeah. And we do not pray directly to Krishna because we cannot match that wavelength. We need a transparent via medium. And that transparent via medium is Sri Guru, who is a pure devotee of Krishna, who is the purest devotee of Krishna actually for a sadhaka. It's a very subjective subject matter. There are many such things which, as we progress in our study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, or when we actually come to a more disciplined sadhana level and all, many things we shall understand by the blessings of Guru and Gaurang. But for now, see, the world generally speaks on this tone. What? Oh, are you a fool or what? Lamenting for this or that. Or are you a fool or what? Going here, doing this or that and all. And another way, when raising children, this is how actually children should be raised. Sometimes children, they are not given good love, care, attention, proper care, love, attention, support. So they carry in their heart some heaviness, hardness, and they carry for the rest of their life or for a good part of their life. Or that my mom, she wasn't really actually good to me, or my dad, or I was exploited this and that in this way or that way and all. But is it good to tell a child, oh, are you a fool? Only a fool like you, my daughter, only a fool like you will spill things like this. Don't act like a fool. Is that a better way to speak to a child, or actually tell, oh, my daughter, you're so good, so kind and all. And a kind person does not do a thing like that. Yeah. To raise someone's potential. So Krishna is letting Arjuna know and understand what is your real potential, what is your real worth. What is your real capacity, real strength, and how to live by it actually. Uh, This is the thing. Otherwise, world generally says, "Oh, those who are fool, they do this. Those who are fool, he's such a fool," sort of. No. And where there is actually love, even though, say, my partner, my friend, parent, family, whosoever for that matter, they may not be very cordial the way I want them to be. Hmm? But still, uh, through one's speech, one should always try to speak gentle. Through one's behavior, one should never leave gentleness. One should never abandon being a gentleman or a gentle lady. But such character doesn't come about on its own. Nah. It's a character reformation. It's a building of character which doesn't come about just like that on its own. And also, it needs a bit of a good lifestyle change, good choice making in our life, the sort of things we do, the sort of people we spend our time with, what sort of food we eat, all these things. They influence our thought process, our character, our aims and aspirations, priorities in life. Otherwise, it is same thing. The message, look, the message, beauty again. See, the message still is the same. What? Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. That's one way of saying. Another, those who are fool, जो बुद्धिमान है ना, जो अ, थोड़े ज्ञानवान है, जो बुद्धिमान है ज्ञानवान है, वो रोते नहीं है, विलाप नहीं करते हैं, जीवित हो या मृत के लिए, जीवो वा मरो वा, वो विलाप नहीं करते हैं। ठीक है, ये एक तरीका है बोलने का। दूसरा तरीका सेम, दूसरा एक तरीका है क्या है, यही संदेश के लिए क्या, कि जो मूर्ख लोग हैं ना वही ऐसा करते हैं, तो तुम मूर्ख मूर्ख हो। भगवान ये नहीं कह रहे हैं। No, Krishna never, in Bhagavad Gita we will find where Krishna is taunting Arjuna, where Krishna is having this opportunity. Okay, now I have one opportunity, I can put him down, I can show him his level. In generally, in society we find, especially when it comes to some spiritual practice, oh, don't give yourself to a, also uh, on an organized institutional based faith, or religion, say, don't give yourself to some organization or faith or institution, or to commit yourself to some spiritual practice. Why? They will put you down. And again, I'm not saying all organizations or all spiritual organizations actually are genuine. No, many of them or some of them are not actually, and some I know from a distance, but from a uh, clear distance, or a um, clear reliable experience, say. And the way they function, there's one particular group that's a sect, and they call themselves spiritual. The way they function is very much on not inspiring, helping someone, but they help someone by putting someone down. Anyways, Shilpa, you are saying something? शिल्पा कुछ बोल रहे हो क्या? Okay. So Krishna is not having taking this opportunity to have a go at Arjuna or taunt him, to play with his emotions and all. No? And we see actually genuinely, Bhagavad Gita will help us more become vigilant, become more observing in life. Check out sometimes within myself as well and within my close associates, if I find someone that is actually taking this opportunity to put me down or taunt me. These are not healthy signs. These are not the signs of a cultured being, a gentle man or a gentle lady. That's one thought, huh? One uh, practical behavioral thought on this. Okay, so let's try to understand this more. While speaking learned's words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. So, a question, please help me understand. What is Arjuna mourning for? What is he crying for, mourning for? And what is it that is not worthy of grief? So yes, Arjuna is somewhat, no, actually not so, no. Jacqueline says is Arjuna is afraid of losing his life in the battle. He's so compassionate. He's so compassionate, but at a bodily level that he doesn't mind giving up his life. So he's not afraid of that. And actually, that is not a healthy sign in the sense he's showing the symptom of escapism. Do you know what escapism means? Everyone has known, right? What escapism means. He he's an escapist who is having a weak heart or a weak mind or a weak purpose or knowledge or understanding in life. Only he would be an escapist who is having some shallowness in life, some vacuum in life. And Arjuna is finding himself in a big hole, in a big vacuum. So he's heavily driven by bodily compassion, and Krishna consciousness never encourages bodily compassion. There is space for it, definitely. In society it is required bodily compassion, but Krishna consciousness is more compassion for the soul, eternal compassion. So Arjuna isn't really suffering from his own life, not lamenting for the loss of his own life. Would anyone like to say or add? Or yes, Alan?
Is he lamenting for the possibility of killing his the people on the battlefield or his family?
Yes, very good. Almost spot on. Almost spot on. So Alan says, is he lamenting for the death of his family members on the battlefield, or in general, everyone or whosoever on the battlefield? Is that the lamentation? Yes, that is there. Actually, that is the lamentation. He's lamenting for pretty much everyone on the battlefield for that death. But he's lamenting everything on material bodily platform. He's lamenting for the loss of body, not the loss of soul. He's lamenting for that. A quick question for now. Please hold it in your mind, and maybe if time permits today or definitely tomorrow, we will discuss more on this, and any inputs will be very much helpful. Uh, he's lamenting for the loss of body, not the loss of soul, say. Huh? If you can think, what is the difference between body and soul? What does body mean? What does soul mean? What is the difference between body and soul? Just think over it a bit, contemplate if something comes to your mind, and later on we'll study more and then I will ask for more inputs then. Yes, Ellen, very nicely said. Anyone else would like to say? What is he lamenting for? What is it which is not worthy of grief?
Death.
Yes, and how would you define that? What does that mean?
The material body ceases to exist.
Beautiful. He says he's lamenting for that. That meaning he's lamenting for the cessation of the material body, hmm? The coming of an end of the material body. Exactly, and that is not worthy of grief. So this is what Krishna is saying. Now look, Krishna is he's the best personality, he's the supreme personality of Godhead. Look, Krishna, when Arjuna surrendered, Krishna straight away took the position of a teacher, the role of a teacher, the role of a guide, mentor. And Krishna is in any situation, he always remains the supreme personality of Godhead. So it's not like Krishna is speaking or he will speak any flattery or anything to please Arjuna, seeing him as his friend and all. He's saying very clearly, very clearly, and at the same time in such a sweet, civilized tone to uplift Arjuna's moral, to see, to give him a bit of a push, to shake him up a bit as well, but not to let him feel down. Sometimes we shake someone as someone and that person feels very low then. He feels very demoralized. But Krishna is shaking him up and at the same time lifting his moral, not making him demoralized. Sometimes we experience ourselves and we also do it. We shake someone up and we make him feel very low. Or someone shakes us up and makes us feel very low. So Krishna is telling directly while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Mm. So uh, the whole world actually like very much works on this speaking learned words, but actually have we become learned is the question. Yeah. This is the realization I had, or I hope I still carry. Before coming into contact with devotees, before practicing Krishna consciousness, before being blessed with the association of devotees, I felt like, okay, yes, I know. And I never felt like, okay, I know everything, but yeah, somewhat I know and all. But reading Bhagavad Gita, now I'm quite convinced that hardly I know. Earlier, what? Okay, I'm in knowledge. That was more of a tone. I know. And now the tone is I'm in so much of ignorance. I hardly know. And when one is convinced that I'm in ignorance, I hardly know, one shouldn't just leave there. No, it is not like, okay, no, I hardly know I'm in ignorance and I do nothing about it. No, that is the time then one approaches Krishna. One should then approach Krishna and take real good shelter of Krishna to get real enlightenment, transcendental enlightenment. So, Krishna, so this is why there's one thing uh, showing to be humble, showing to be learned, showing to be wise, sounding wise, acting wise, yeah, sounding knowledgeable, acting to be knowledgeable, showing to be knowledgeable. But best is actually being knowledgeable, actually being wise, actually being humble, and naturally becoming humble, naturally having that position of humility, carrying that position of humility, carrying that knowledge, carrying that wisdom, enlightenment. So Krishna is saying you are trying to, you are so much giving, and this is the thing, right? We will experience again as we come into more daily practice of Krishna consciousness. We'll experience what? Oh, before coming into Krishna consciousness, I had so much of knowledge. I thought like, okay, tell me what is your problem. I will give you the solution and all. This is what Krishna is saying. Look, uh, in a way, he's telling Arjuna, "You fool, you rascal," but not so directly. That hurts him. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, look, you are speaking some learned words, but you are actually acting like a fool. All these arguments which you have given, they are all on the bodily platform, all on the material plane. So they are really useless in the eternal scheme of life. What you are mourning for is not at all worthy of grief. Why? Because you are mourning for a material body which is made of what? Earth, water, fire, these material elements only. One day it is going to perish. What is the point on lamenting for them? Yeah. Prabhupada writes beautifully in the purport of the first text, second chapter, first sloka, the first sentence purport. What? Material compassion. Material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of the ignorance of the real self. And this is what Arjuna is going through. He's showing compassion, but of a material nature, material platform, lamenting for that, and tears are coming out because of that only. And these are all signs of the ignorance of the real self. These are all signs of the weakness of heart or weakness of mind. What is real knowledge? Real knowledge, so beautiful purport. Real knowledge means to know matter and spirit, the distinction between matter and spirit. What is matter, what is spirit, and who is the controller of both. Then we can play very nicely in this game of life. Only then. Otherwise, very difficult. Otherwise, very difficult. Huh. So Arjuna is giving so many, like, what will happen to economy. Economic was also consideration in not fighting politics, so sociology, religious principles. But he forgot. This is what, no, in illusion or in conditioned state, we do not understand. We are in forgetfulness of what is material energy, what is spiritual energy, how the two work, and where do we belong, what do we carry, what is our nature, what is our position. But we act so much as if we are so learned. Another fact of life, what, in this world, information is sold heavily in the name of knowledge. It is information only which is sold so heavily, yeah, throughout, in say school, college, uni, everywhere, Google, whatever we do. It is matter and the interaction of matter which is deemed as knowledge. Say suppose someone, oh, Brexit started when this time, and this one can write an essay on Brexit, and one will say, oh wow, he's so knowledgeable. This guy is really knowledgeable. Now ask him Brexit, ask him about football. Manchester City versus Manchester United. When did Ferguson join? When did he leave? What's going on Premier League? What's going on Champions League and all? He can speak so much. Speak him about geography. He knows Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Asia, Africa, and all. He's so knowledgeable. All these things. This is all information based only. No real knowledge. Real knowledge begins when we understand what is matter, what is spirit, and what is the difference between the two. Otherwise, for last, with the advancement of technology and even previously, we see people are so experts in economics, this and that. But real expertise is what? Expertise is what? How to break free from this shackle of birth, life, death, old age, and disease. Tell me one disease which we have cured. What what can we say we are proud of our knowledge? One issue which we have resolved, like there's a, I think it's a relatively small country called Estonia, but I would be heavily surprised if the country is not having any issue, any sort of political or economic or social issue. Uh, we all are constantly getting all these issues and things, and many things are not an issue, but we take it to be an issue and all. So this is why on these lines, it is merely information which is sold out in the market heavily and taken to be knowledge. Someone could be so good in music, knows so much about music, this pop star, that pop star, and really there's so much of awe and reverence for them. Media people, so much of awe and reverence for them. Real knowledge is when the foundation of life is very clear. Without that foundation in life, what? There were so many like celebrities and personalities uh, popular in media and all. Some would have passed away now. Now, what actually knowledge? Real knowledge should be something which is sustainable, right? So this is what Krishna is saying, that all your arguments are not at all sustainable. They are very fickle, very temporary. They are not of real good, real help. So, uh, if we see a drowning person, a man is drowning, what is good? What should we do? Save the person or save his clothes? Save his dress or save the person? Save the person, right? Hopefully, this should be a no brainer for everyone. If we see some person drowning, it makes all due sense that yes, save the person, leave his dress. And in the attempt to save the person as well, if we have to scratch his leg, feet, say, even so much so, Sri Shikhorantai Mayapur Sashiki, in the attempt to save the person, if we have to scratch his feet, say, if we have to tear his dress, say, for that matter, or so much so that we have to throw his purse away, throw his bank card away, throw his mobile phone away as well. We wouldn't shy from doing that, right? We will throw that away if it needs to saving the person. So this is what Krishna is saying, that look for something which is eternal and try to protect that and not get sidetracked, tempted by the temporary fickleness of this world. So Krishna is introducing this science, or Arjuna's struggle was what? With his identity. Arjuna's real struggle was his identity. Two strong reasons why a person feels unmotivated, uninspired, or regularly loses motivation, loses inspiration. Shall I tell you two strong reasons? Two main, core, basic, fundamental reasons. One is when a person is forgetful of his identity, when he does not know his identity. And because he does not know his identity, then he does not know what his duty is, what needs doing, what his engagement in life is. And because of these two, there is this lack of motivation or inspiration. And by identity and engagement, I mean spiritual identity and spiritual engagement. Because we are spiritual beings. Because we are spiritual beings, our identity and engagement has to be spiritual. Suppose someone is a maths teacher, and if he is given an engagement, a job to teach English, will it go really well? No, no. A basic example. Even though he can teach English, perhaps, but no, his real core thing is teaching mathematics. Suppose someone is a English student. Suppose an English student should be given what to uh, say write an essay on Oscar Wilde. But if the English student is given to write an essay on integration or calculation or something on mathematics and all, it may not really go well. So thing is, why do we lose inspiration or motivation, or why do we not keep sustained inspiration, motivation? Because we do not know what is our real identity, our spiritual identity, who we are. And if we do not know who we are, how well can we know then what to do? If I do not know who am I, then I will not know how to act as well. And this is the problem Arjuna is facing. We all face in life. Do not we come across maybe moments or phases or passages in life when we say, think or say, oh, I don't know who. We do not may not be saying very clearly like this, I don't know who am I, but we are lost in some purpose. I don't know what to do. I don't know what is going on with me. I don't know where is life taking me and all. So one who loses is one who is unaware, unclear of his spiritual identity, and his spiritual engagement will always find lacking motivation, inspiration. But one who is very clear with his spiritual identity and spiritual engagement will never be lacking in motivation or inspiration. And this is what Arjuna was lamenting for. He was lamenting for bodily losing of bodily identity and bodily engagement. And this is what we all fear, we all worry about. What is our biggest fear? Our biggest fear is loss of our ignorance. Look, so irony, baapre, है ना? Such a huge irony. We fear what? To lose something. है ना? And lose what? Ignorance only. देहात्म बुद्धि में क्या ज्ञान है भाई? ये देहात्म बुद्धि में ही तो हम बैठे पड़े हैं. अपने आप को शरीर आत्मा मान, शरीर को आत्मा समझ के अपने आप को ये शरीर मान के पूरा का पूरा, और सारा विस्तार उसी से है, और उसी को खोने का डर. मेरी पत्नी चली जाएगी, पति चला जाएगा, बच्चे चले जाएंगे, इत्यादि इत्यादि, कारोबार, ये सब. अरे बाबा, ये सब जाने के लिए ही है ना? किसकी पत्नी रही है बताओ, किसका बच्चा रहा है, किसका पिता रहा है, इत्यादि. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि हम छोड़ छाड़ भी देना हो, व्यवहारिक जीवन में रहना उस हिसाब से, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं हम चिपक जाएं, है ना? Has anyone in this group never traveled on a train, or say a bus for that matter? Every one of us would have traveled on train, I'm guessing, right? Now in train, worldwide, there are coaches, right? Maybe called ABCD or 1, 2, 3, 4, huh? And within coach, there would be seats, maybe 72 seats, 52, there's certain number of seats. Then each seat has a seat number, as in coach A and seat number 32. So suppose you are traveling from Glasgow to London, and coach A, seat 32. Now we know, okay, yes, this is the train, this is my starting and end, and that's my seat and all. Coach A, seat 32. Now, when we get off the train, when we leave the train, do we really lament or cry, oh no, I'm going to lose my chair? Oh, this A32, I'm losing the seat now. And when we board the train, do we really say, oh no, this is my seat and all? Huh? I'm the first passenger here. No, we know someone was previously sat in that chair. Now, for a certain time period, this chair belongs to me, or I've been given this chair. I've been allotted this chair. And when my London comes, I will leave this chair. We never really lament for leaving the chair, right? We never lament for losing that sort of chair, because we know it's a very temporary journey. Likewise, this body is just a temporary journey. This body is no more than a vehicle, but it's such an important vehicle that it can take us into transcendence, into eternity. So lamentation should always be something for which is permanent. Lamentation, what to lament for something which is temporary? Ellen, do you sometimes cut nails? I hope you sometimes cut nails, right?
I do, yes.
Yeah, that's good to know. Yeah. And sometimes do take shower as well, please.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So we all cut nails, right? When we cut nails, do we really cry? Oh, my dear nail, I'm losing you. Huh? I mean, there are people who actually grow nails, long
I
nails.
did as a child.
Long. Yeah, so very good you responded, Evie. You did as a child. What does that mean? When you were lacking knowledge. I mean, you are still lacking knowledge, Evie, to be honest. Joking, huh? We did as a child, someone did as a child, but what? That's childish, right? Lacking knowledge, so crying, oh, my nail, and all. But now do you do, Evie? Now do you cry over cutting nail?
No.
No, isn't it? So Bhagavad Gita will see tears are very important, tears are valuable. Tears are very important, very valuable. Tears are very sacred, or we have to make our tears sacred. And Krishna will teach us. If one has to cry, one has to cry only for the darshan of Krishna. है ना? One should cry for that only. That, oh Krishna, I have an eternal bond with you, eternal connection with you. Yet I am in so much separation from you. But we never cry for that. It never pinches us. It never hurts us. And what do we cry for? A job, a car, a house. Such petty, actually. So this is why Krishna is chastising Arjuna that you fool, you are mourning for something which is not worthy of grief. Huh? Understand your real worth. Understand your real worth. Cry at least something which is substantial, which Krishna will, which pleases Krishna. Now, oh wow, he cried for what? He cried for attainment of Golok Vrindavan. He cried for attainment of absolute consciousness. That is something, yes, a courageous cry. Yeah, he's a strong, courageous, learned, knowledgeable person. रोया तो भी किसके लिए रोया? रोटी कपड़े मकान के लिए ना? वाह रे वाह! हाँ? जिंदगी भर रोया तो भी देखो किसके लिए रोया? रोटी कपड़े माइक चीजों के लिए ना? ये रोना भी कोई रोना है क्या? कितने कीमती अनमोल है आंसू, है ना? हमारे इमोशंस, हमारे फीलिंग्स, इसके लिए बहा दिया। वाह रे वाह! So another thing, lamentation. Lamentation means crying over something, missing something and crying for it, losing something and crying for it. Now, in society, um in within our family as well, we might all have experienced. Did you hear someone losing, passing away, someone dying and all? And did you ever, in your family members, if it ever happened that someone died at a relatively young age? So materially speaking, at a relatively young age, at the age of say less than 20, below 20, under 20, or under 30. Gen- Generally, if someone we hear this news, someone in our family members, friend contacts and all passes away at a relatively young age, under 20, under 15, under 10, under 30, what is the cry? What do people? It is a natural thing again to cry, to sob, to express grief. But what is that cry generally for?
For their identity.
What did you say, Vi? For?
For the identity of that person that's no longer with us.
Hmm. Okay. Nice. So Jacqueline says that okay, they died at a young age. They couldn't get to experience life. They couldn't get to participate in life and see life and take on more in life and all. If we saying that okay, we cry because we lost the person, the identity. Say we lost the memories or we couldn't build more memories and all. And can I say a bit more in a gross sense? Generally the cry is what? Or she died or he died at a young age, and what couldn't go to college or uni. She or he couldn't go to college or uni, or she couldn't get into a job, or she couldn't experience working life. She couldn't have a family, or she will partner and buy a property, flat, and this sort of things. Generally, couldn't go for holidays and all. Can I say generally the cry or lamentation is around on those lines that she couldn't or he couldn't experience this and this sort of things in life. Do you think people cry that oh he couldn't chant the holy names of Krishna? He couldn't read Bhagavad Gita. He didn't complete Bhagavad Gita. He didn't complete the study of Bhagavad Gita. He didn't never attended a Guru Puja. He never attended Janmashtami festival. He never went for a pilgrimage he never associated with devotees or he barely started associating. Such cry, such lamentation is never there in society. It's never there. Unless one is in association with some devotees. Only then one would cry for such a thing. Only when there is transcendental awakening, there is real spiritual awakening. Otherwise, the cry will be for what? Only this only loss of matter. Any thoughts, questions, or comment? Okay, maybe I will try to make you cry a bit more than we study, read a bit more, huh? Let's read next. न त्वैवहं जातु नासं न त्वं नेमे जनाधिपा न चैव न भविष्यामि सर्ववयमतः परम्. Harsha, read translation.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Hmm. Again, beautiful translation. Never was there a time when I did not exist and all. So when we hear this, we would find, just even if we do not really understand the meaning or something, just reading Bhagavad Gita, going through the translations, one will find lots of peace, lots of calmness, soothing, encouragement. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these things, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. In nutshell, Krishna is saying what? That my dear Arjuna, you are as old as me. All, not just you. Krishna is telling to each and every one of us via Arjuna that we all of us are as old as Krishna. Yeah. See, this is a world of relativity, or this is a world of past, present, and future. Hmm. This is a world of time and space. So we understand the things when there is a beginning, when there is an end, then our mind can more relate to it. But in the realm of transcendence, there's not like a beginning or an end. No, it is an ongoing eternal journey. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you are a spiritual being, spiritual identity. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. So do not lament. For the spirit, there is no lamentation. Yeah. The only lamentation should be I couldn't perfect my Krishna consciousness. I could not fully fall in love with Krishna. I could not fully discover myself. I could not fully unearth my real potential. What does unearth mean? I think it's an English word, right? Unearth,
Discover.
discover. Yes, Harsha.
Yeah, uncover or reveal, try
In a
to
way,
uh,
excavate, discover. I
try
couldn't
to
really. Mhm.
come up to the surface and which is visible.
I couldn't find my real own potential. That should be the thing. But again, when we say na real own potential, generally society takes it, oh yes, I actually should have earned a 1 million pound, but I managed to earn only 500,000 pounds. So this is how society relate or connects. That yeah, by the age of this much, I should have actually started my own company. Mm. I should have actually uh, bought this car. Yeah, I still need to find my real potential. I have real strength. I have a higher potential, higher strength of what? Making it a million, buying a house, buying a car, property, and all. Or by this age, I should have done PhD. I should have done research work. We all are so fascinated. See, irony again. We are hardly fascinated by the beauty of Krishna, by the intelligence of Krishna, by the smile of Krishna, by the love of Krishna. But we are so fascinated, those who are in research work, so fascinated by the research, PhD, scholarship. Some are so fascinated by their uh, this fashion, beauty, makeup, or things, music, mm, or some are so fascinated by their computer programming or this management oriented jobs. Or yeah, I grew my company, I grew my team, I made a team of this, and this was the issue, we resolved it like this and all. So much of fascination. But this is not fascination for the soul, this is all fascination for the body only, at the bodily platform. So Krishna is in nutshell telling Arjuna, you are as old as me. So we all are actually as old as Krishna. We all are as old as Krishna. Maybe let's, if you all are okay, then let's read for another 10, 12 minutes maybe. So now see this next verse. Dehinusmin yatha dehe komaram yauvanam jara तथा देहांतरा प्राप्ति धीरस्तत्र namuyati. See, these are Sanskrit shloka, right? The shloka, the verse in Sanskrit language. Sanskrit is a language of God actually, and the translation and purport. So all this dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna was in a song form. Krishna is singing. This also shows na in this real crisis, but he's smiling and he's singing. Does not mean he's careless or he's casual. No, means he's always above. His Krishna is always a step ahead of the game. He's always a step ahead. He's always above the situation. So this is why he's very peaceful, calm, relaxed. And that's his natural personality. Krishna is naturally the supreme personality of God. No one becomes God by doing something. Na? And no one is like a God from such and such year 2020 March 12th, or from now on I'm God. Okay, now I've woken up and I become God and let me do this thing and all. No. Since eternity, eh, we can, if at all we can understand it in theory, good. Right now, we are not in a so spiritually awakened or evolved perhaps to experience or understand this eternity. And this is why, how best can we understand the message of Bhagavad Gita when alongside listening, alongside reading, we do chanting, we do japa on beads. If we just listen and read, which is very good, highly recommended, we will understand as well. But for having a solid understanding, a very consolidated understanding, a strong foundation, it has to be backed up by japa, chanting, or kirtan same. When we chant the holy names of Krishna, then many things will come to revelation. And when we chant, we will understand. Then when we read more, we will be able to chant more nicely. When we read or listen more, it will improve our japa. And when we do more japa, it will help us understand the message very clearly. Then Krishna consciousness will be the real reality, which actually it is. It is the natural position. It is the natural aspect or facet or thing in our life. So with good japa, The message will come about. With good reading, hearing, our japa will improve. And they are very core, very much needed. So here Krishna is saying, Dehinosmin yatha dehe komaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatra namuyati. Okay, let's try it this way then. Huh? I will go on mute and I will ask Jacqueline to read translation. And from Zoom, EV, read translation, please.
As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such change.
Brilliant. Now look again on that same what we were saying on the message of Krishna, on the style of Krishna speaking, how he speaks. See the last sentence. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Okay. What does it mean, a sober person?
Someone in their right mind?
Oh, very nice, Evie. Evie says sober person means someone in their right mind. Very good, Evie. Nicely put. Another way of saying this thing could be what? The message should still remain intact, but how can I frame a sentence? How can I say with keeping the message intact? See, Krishna could have easily said, what? Only a fool is bewildered by such a change. Could he not? Huh? Only a idiot. Krishna could have said, isn't it? What do you say, Alan? Could Krishna have said like this? Huh?
No.
But yeah, he wouldn't, because he doesn't use such language. He doesn't. He's never like uh, frustrated. Only frustrated people, many people swear, use abusive language, which is no good, no good. Worldwide, in UK also, in India as well, happily swearing, abusive, foul language, uh, and these are all signs of actually someone's weakness, someone who is not very courageous or not having real strength only would swear or use abusive language. Uh, and people actually, when they are a bit under the influence of alcohol, have you seen someone under the influence of alcohol and singing hymns, prayers, verses? Do we see this? Or what do we see? Someone under the influence of alcohol swearing, using abusive language, and um, doing really silly things. Someone under the influence of alcohol, he is bound to swear, use abusive language, do silly things and all. Never ever under the influence of alcohol will he be chanting the glories of God, or even praising society, respecting society, parents, family, government, or anyone. No.
I think the Byzantine monks would have been um, drunk most of the time.
Sorry, who? Who?
Except from the Byzantine monks back in the 12th century. They were drunk all the time.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Krishna could have said, uh, "Idiot is not bewildered by such a change," or only a idiot is bewildered. Only a fool, only a stupid person is bewildered by such a change. But no, Krishna choose not to, and naturally. See, for Krishna again, he doesn't need to make a decision or a choice. It is only when we need to make a decision or a choice, because we remain in confusion. Oh, what should I have for breakfast? Should I go for porridge, or should I take just fruits? We sometimes go in confusion, wanting to make a choice, but not for Krishna. Everything for Krishna is natural. Everything for him comes naturally because he's never in ignorance. He's never in ignorance. So it's a natural thing for Krishna. Oh, sober person. Now again, such a sweet way of saying, as if like he's patting Arjuna on the back. Huh? Oh, Arjuna, as if like he's really rubbing his back and praising him or patting him or his shoulders or giving him a cuddle, say, or trying to embrace him and so much enthuse and motivate him. That what happened, Arjuna? You are such a sober, intelligent, a person in your right mind, and you shouldn't be bewildered by such a change. Now imagine if someone speaks to us, tells us like this, holding our hands, say if someone holds our hands and say, oh, you are such a sober person, you are genuinely a sober person, an intelligent person, or someone embraces us, hugs us, or pats us on our back and says, and wouldn't it be uplifting our morale? This is how Krishna speaks. Krishna never sees the dark side of anyone because for Krishna it is all absolute good only. He is not in Maya, and we are hardly in Krishna consciousness. We are fully in Maya. So Krishna is telling Arjuna that you are a sober person. Come to your real position. Now see, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. I read this translation again. As the embodied soul, or as Ellen, Anuja, Evie, Harsha, Ashish, Jacqueline continuously travel through Transpennine train. There is a train express called Transpennine Express, a train company in UK. As Anuja, Ellen, Evie, or Megabus, there is a coach as well, national coach or Megabus. Huh? As Anuja, Evie, Harsha, Ashish, Jacqueline, Ellen continuously passes through Transpennine in Transpennine train or in national coach from where Glasgow to Edinburgh to Leeds to York. mm, From Glasgow to Edinburgh to Leeds to York and uh, leave their destination there. Drop out of that train there. Leave it. So there is no bewilderment. There's no bewilderment. On those lines, we are continuously passing only. We are continuously traveling only in this body. From boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. So a sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Okay. Shishi Khoranita Mayapur Sashiki Jai. One second, I will go and on mute. Huh? Ellen, Evie, Harsha, Anuja, and all. Are you still comfortable to continue?
Yes.
Okay, Ellen is fine. Evie says, I think yes, right? Evie just message, I believe. And okay, Harsha should be fine, Anuja should be
Yeah,
fine.
yes. Okay. Mm.
So this is where Krishna is giving Arjuna the spiritual signs. Hmm. Krishna is telling Arjuna his real identity that you are a spirit soul. Uh, and actually, a person becomes sober when he realizes or understands or comes to this knowledge that I am actually a spirit soul. And then there is no bewilderment. In society, where do we hear about soul or the subject matter of soul or spiritual subject matter? How much do we hear about in society, in school, college, uni? We hardly hear. Yes, Alan, go on.
Yeah, I was just going to say very little.
Barely any, barely any. And also, in different religious denominations or different religious or this faith-based practice also, it's more a designation-oriented practice. That what? Oh, I consider myself as a Hindu. I'm a Christian. I'm a Muslim. I'm a Sikh, Buddha, Jain, this and that. Very much like faith-based and all. But here, this why is Bhagavad Gita a science? Why is it universal? Now, is this message, this thing applicable only to Indians, only to Europeans, only to Hindus or Muslims or Sikhs or Christians? No, it is for everyone. And is this thing applicable only to humans? Do not think a mosquito is a baby mosquito at some time. Huh? Do we not think a baby mosquito, even though such a tiny duration of life, in relation to our lifespan, in relation to a average human lifespan, the lifespan of a mosquito is very tiny, but still, does it not have a baby body, say, then a bit of a say boyhood body, and then old age body, and then passes away? Yeah. So remember, I said like asked about this question: what is body? What is soul? What is the difference between the two? What does it mean? So far, whatever our knowledge or understanding has been is all bodily oriented, in the bodily conception of life. This is why we say what? That in this world, it is information which is heavily, very quickly sold out in the name of knowledge. In the name of knowledge. है A small example, if a music performer releases a music video, huh, within a day, how many views, say on YouTube? Within 12 hours, it could easily reach a million views, right? Easily reach a million views. And if there is somewhere propagation of Krishna consciousness, Bhagavad Gita, people are hardly interested. Hardly interested. Anyways, and again, this is not to say that, okay, put some. Thing is, look, um, no one is a born saint. We never hear that a saint is born or a mother has given birth to a saint. Has any mother given birth to a saint? No. No one is a born saint. And no one is a born sinner as well. No. But this human form of life gives us this opportunity how to imbibe actually this saintly qualities, saintly knowledge. And this is again each and every individual soul, individual living entity's prerogative, priority. It is not only someone living at the top of a hill in Les Mehego in a Krishna eco farm in a Hare Krishna temple community, living as monks and nuns. Okay, these are only, it is for them. No. Someone could be living in Leeds, York, or wherever. Huh? But who is stopping one to have carry saintly characteristics, saintly virtuous life, lead a pious, pure, virtuous life? So now see how this is a science. No, this is science applicable to everyone, predominantly to humans, because humans can relate to it and understand to it. Now, uh, whatever bodily age we are in, at one point in time, we all were 5 year old, right? We all were 5 year old. Where is that body now? Where is the 5 year old body? It has changed. You know? just changed. Matter means change. Matter means depletion. Matter means breaking apart. And spirit means what? Not change. Spirit means evolve. Evolve. Spirit means rising high. Spirit means escalating or elevation. Yeah. Matter means breaking apart. Spirit means evolving, elevating. So we all were living in a 5-year-old body at one point in time, but the body is no more. The body has changed. But the soul proper, the identity, the person, the soul, the energy, the consciousness, the soul proper is still the same. Huh? Then boyhood body, one day that will also be gone or gone. Youth, old age. So how much do we left our 5-year-old body, right? And how much do we get bewildered by it? Are we any bewildered? Oh, I lost my 5-year-old body. Where is it? No. 10-year-old body. Where is it? No. 20-year-old body, 30-year-old body. No. So, if with this understanding we participate in life, we will never feel fearful. We will always be sober. See, that is something not to be feared of. Bhagavad Gita teaches us never to worry that, never to fear that. Something which is inevitable, why to worry about it? Something which is sure to happen. It's just timing is unknown, but it is sure to happen. So what is the problem in it if it is something sure to happen? Why to worry? Why to lament? This is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. That it is sure to happen. So do not fear. That is something not to make adjustment as well with that. At least a spiritual practitioner, a sadhaka never tries to adjust that, make adjustment with that. As in, when again by Krishna's mercy, blessings, by the blessings of Vaishnavas, someday we study Srimad Bhagavatam as well. Srimad Bhagavatam begins again with death, right? It's like Parikshit Maharaj who is about to die in a week, eh, with death. But Parikshit Maharaj did not make any adjustment with that. No, he did not. Bharat Maharaj, he also knew, or kind of leaving his body and all, did not make any adjustment with that. No. Prahlad Maharaj, recently in Narsingha Chaturdashi, Prahlad Maharaj was always put under fearful, like dying situation circumstances, literally. But he never made adjustment with that. That is something to make friendship with, not to make adjustment with. Huh? This is why all spiritual practitioners of any faith for that matter, even Mayavad for that matter, or Nirvisheshavad or Visheshavad or Sunyavad or whatever, huh? They never make adjustments with that. It is foolishness to make some adjustment with that. And what we are doing, we live in a cover up society. Literally, we live in a cover up society. Even the body after death, what do? We bury, cover up the body or put it in a coffin, cover it up, cover it up. In a cover up society is only when we try to make adjustment with that. Okay, let me do this adjustment and then I will be happy I won't die. Let me do that adjustment and then I will be happy I won't die. Huh? Because we live in illusion, in a cover up society. We live like escapists. But a spiritual practitioner never lives like an escapist. He's never escaping from that. Rather, he's working on purifying his consciousness, purifying his existence. He's throughout every breath, he's living to glorify Krishna, to glorify Guru and Gaurang, to see the mercy of Krishna, to see the blessings of Krishna, to experience the kindness, the love of Krishna. Few days back, Adokshada Prabhu was giving class in the temple morning, and so beautiful, like he inspired us. He said, "What? That Krishna consciousness teaches us to look, not just look actually, to experience the bright side of life, to look. to understand, to experience, to live the bright side of life, and also the bright side of death. Also the bright side of death. For a real sadhaka, Vaishnava, devotee, there is no death. Death is nothing but a change of body only. So for a sadhaka, there's not um, like a death as such, because his identity is very clear. His identity is very clear. So now coming back, how do we understand? So the thing is, what in in general sense, if I may break this up, Krishna is saying essentially, my dear Arjuna, mere lallu lal Arjuna, or for us, that you are not this body, you are a spirit soul. So a bit rationally, with some logic, how do we understand we are not this body, we are spirit soul? Or Krishna is saying up until this, in these 2 3 verses, that never lament for something which is temporary, lament for permanent, and look always for eternity, na? So how do we understand we are not this body, we are spirit soul? Through the teachings of Prabhupada and his writings, especially in Science of Self-Realization and other places and all. What say? uh, Ashish, that's my name, right? It's the name of the body given to the body. Okay, tell me, when I was born, do you think I was born with this name? Uh, when I got this body, do you think the nurse told my mom or my parents, "Oh, Ashish is born. Look, he's here." Sometimes partner parents, they give the name to their child before the child is born. But no, this is a name for the body. But this is not my real spiritual identity. And can I not change my name? I can easily change my name. All of us. None of us were born with this name. Helen, Anuja, Ivy, Harsha, Jacqueline, none of us and others were not born with this name. And all of us can actually change our name. It's not, it's definitely our identity, but it's not the permanent identity. Yeah. Likewise, like say, uh, the whole world is struggling in this identity only, right? So, say my nationality, carry an Indian passport, but I can actually change that Indian passport to say a British passport or some other passport, or that there's that opportunity or that option or that thing, right? So even everyone's like this passport or national identity, people change or can get changed. People change their name, people change like their languages or jobs. So much so, people change their gender as well. So the real identity, Arjuna, Krishna is saying that our real identity is spiritual identity. We are all are spiritual beings, and we all need a spiritual engagement as well for our ultimate satisfaction, which Krishna will tell us further on. First of all, Krishna is sorting Arjuna's identity. Uh, Life in many a ways is like a football match or a cricket match, or we'll discuss some another day how as such. But for now, imagine a football match, and if the player is not clear what is his position, is he a striker, a defender, a midfielder, goalkeeper? He will really, now the stadium is set up, the lights are on, the party, the audience is there, commentators are there, everything is set up, huh? But if I do not know, who am I? Am I the goalkeeper? Am I the forward striker, midfielder, defender, or what is my position? Who am I? Will I make any good in the game? No, no, I would be so confused. So likewise, first Krishna is sorting Arjuna's identity, his real identity, our real identity, who we are, what is our real identity. Name is definitely a part of our identity, but it is not our eternal identity. Again, a question: when we say introduce yourself, or when we introduce others as well, or my once when one gives one's introduction, what are the things one says in introduction? So when you would introduce yourself, depends a bit on the setting, who we are, but generally name will be told in introduction, right? Age may not be told, name will be told. Sometimes depending age may be also be told, depending on the setting. The nationality has to be told, or occupation and all. Again, someone could be working as a lawyer, but one can change profession, and people do change. Today working as a lawyer, tomorrow could be working as a voluntary gardener. Huh? Next day could well be a Hare Krishna monk. Should be become a Hare Krishna monk perhaps, and find eternal engagement. Huh? So we change, profession as well can be changed, isn't it? Generally, introduction, name, say, place, where does one come from, and all. But this is not something like there are uh, many who come from India to US, Europe, wherever, and they don't associate much with India then and all. Likewise, many from Europe, this and that, and people do not associate themselves with that and that background. So the thing is, at a somewhat theoretical and somewhat say logical level, to satisfy our mind, we are trying to understand h- how we are not this body, and essentially we are spirit soul, and we are not mind as well. So how we are not this body, say, mm, anyone knows what is like first what is called first person and second person? Yeah, in English grammar there's something called as first person and second person, right? What is it like, first person, second person, Jacqueline, if you would like to share, please? Yes. So first person is like, again, very in simplistic view, is more from this I point of view, identity oriented and all. And I believe third person, the second person as well, third person as well, like they, them, uh, I, me. That's first person. I, me, mine is first person. Then he, she, him, her. That's, I believe, second person. Uh, or then there's they, their, ours, uh, that sort of thing. So the first person is the identity, the soul. Now, see, uh, what do we say? Like, say, this is my hand, right? Generally, we say, like, this is my hand, but do we ever say, I the hand, I am the hand? No, this is my hand. We all have a mobile phone, right? A cellular phone. We say, what? This is my mobile phone. We never say, I the mobile phone. What does it mean? This, if I say this is my mobile phone, then I'm something separate from the mobile phone, right? The mobile phone belongs to me. In relationship to the mobile phone, I am the owner, the master, the controller, right? The caretaker of the mobile phone. I'm not the mobile phone, I'm the user of this mobile phone. And the mobile phone belongs to me. This is my mobile phone. This is my bag. This is my pen. Yeah. This is my key, house key, car key. Do I say I am the house key? I am the car key? No. It doesn't go with English language or any language for that matter. So it doesn't go like, okay, We all say this is my mobile phone. है We never say I the mobile phone. But when it comes to what? Identity, I am Ashish or such and such, right? The thing is that who am I in relation to the mobile phone? I'm the user of the mobile phone. I'm the owner of the mobile phone. I'm the controller, possessor, guardian of the mobile phone. Likewise, when I say this is my hand, this is my feet, these are my eyes, nose, ears, cheek, chin, tongue, head, you know, then what? Am I the head? No. Am I the eyes? No. Am I the ears? No. So the body, this body belongs to me. I'm the owner, controller, possessor, caretaker of this body. But I'm not this body. I'm not the hand. If I cannot say I'm not the mobile phone, this is my mobile phone, then how can I say, okay, I'm the hand? This is my hand. Yes, I am the spirit soul, and as a spirit soul, I possess this body, material for now though. And the whole Krishna consciousness process, philosophy, practice is how to elevate my consciousness to transform from matter identification to spirit identification in consciousness. It is all purifying the consciousness, elevating the consciousness. Right now Arjuna is associating with the body, with matter. Body meaning matter, matter which separates. Body has a duration. So likewise, again on a theoretical platform, but this will really come to light when we start chanting, when we do japa alongside our reading, hearing, you know, alongside study of Bhagavad Gita. When we do japa, this will come to light. Wow, it's a lethal combination, japa and reading, hearing. When we join the two together, boom, Krishna will come out of it. Honestly, see, another way of thinking, another way of trying to understand. What, as I say, okay, this is not this is my hand, this is my nose. We can do another similar on this lines, one more experiment. Now I will ask something to you all, and please, if you can follow the experiment, then point to your nose. Everyone, please follow the experiment kindly. Point to your nose. Good. Point to your eyes. Point to your ears, please. Uh, Point to your feet. Point to your head. Point to yourself. Let's do it again, and a bit in a fast pace, because if we do it a bit in a fast pace, we won't be allowing our brain to think. We want to do it naturally. What comes out spontaneously? What comes out naturally? Point to your eyes, nose, ears, head. Point to yourself. Try this experiment with children, honestly, and see the result. Any of you, please say, while pointing to nose, eyes, ears, and all, okay, we know hand, feet, and all. But when it came pointing to yourself, did you stop somewhere, or did you point it to your, say, chest, heart? If we take this as an experiment, 90, more than 95%, 99%, either if someone is a bit intellectually thinking, one will stop, one might stop, not point anywhere, say. Or if someone is just naturally kind of, then we may see again an experience and observation, one would point to one's heart. Or this is why try this experiment with children. Children should also love it. And even you see in school, going to school in nursery and all, what do teachers teach us? We learn this mostly at school, right? Or mother teaches us what? Okay, um, chunnu beta chunnu hai na, or what? Point to your nose. Mother teaches na, oh, this is your nose. See, point to your ears, point to your, where's your ear, where's your eyes. Now where are you? Where are you? In school also teacher teaches us what? This is your teeth, point to your teeth. Huh? These are your nose, this is your nose, point to your nose. These are your ears. Uh, where is your ear? We ask children, right? Where is your nose? Show me your teeth, show me your eyes, show me your nose. But where are you? Where are we? And if we check with children, maybe, see, if the hand actually goes in the heart, if the hand actually touches the heart, then this is something a bit fascinating or interesting, is it not? We can point to eyes, ears, and all, but we might struggle pointing ourselves. Or we can easily point to others also, or we can easily point to others' fault, but we might struggle to point the fault within ourselves or find some fault within ourselves. So coming back, Krishna says, "You are not this body; you are a spirit soul." And something on these lines, through some of these experiments, we can try to satisfy our mind or answer our mind. Again, it is not like no one actually can prove the existence of soul on a physical level. Also, no one can disprove it. And Bhagavad Gita study is not to prove anyone else. And Krishna and Bhagavad Gita certainly does not need proving as well. No, not at all. And it will be a bit of a foolishness trying to prove Krishna or Bhagavad Gita. But this is all to help me, help me understand Krishna consciousness and practice Krishna consciousness. Okay, so on this note, maybe I give you all peace. Any question or comment or any thoughts or anything anyone would like to say or any takeaway points? And tomorrow we will continue more on this, and tomorrow we will watch some videos, and tomorrow we will bring the soul out of the body. Tomorrow we'll do another heavy experiment, say, and honestly bring the soul out of your body. So be careful.
Beautiful lesson. Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribol Prabhu. Okay, let's give the recording a rest. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.